let's take a look and see how to handle our little prep changes for our display booth presentation board. So I called up the presentation board that we had before, and I chose landscape this time. And I think I'm going to go ahead and go with this style, so I can go ahead and delete the first and the third slides so that I show up with this. And then I notice that these aren't quite right? This says existing site and project description. So I'm just going to change that to TEL project description. And I might even change TEL. I'll explain that over here in the title. Okay, and so here, instead of proposed site and features that match the project description, I'm going to change that to display booth features. And I know that's hard for you to read in this tiny little screen, but when you do it on your own, you'll recognize that. And then I've got plan views, and I'll probably change section views to 3D views. Now I've got this kind of set up for myself so I can know where I'm going to put things. I don't necessarily need these little titles here, but I can leave them there until I'm done. So key project goals, I know I've got, and I'll let you fill these in for yourselves, but I know that one is recruitment, one is education, and one is contest. All right, so we've got like 3 basic things that we're trying to do. So recruitment to DESGN. And remember this, I can move this out. I can actually make those a little bit bigger if I want to. They're a little bit small looking right now. So I can make those a little bit larger looking. Okay, so that I know what they are. And then I can show portions of my design that go with each one of those. I can even change those if I want to a 1, 2, 3. So that I've got 3 main project goals. Okay, and so of the project, because this is going to try to sell the project to the people that are funding the project. Okay, so remember, this isn't necessarily just the display booth goal. We had project goals that the display booth was going to meet. Okay, so this is going to be, change this as to TEL project. And then if I want to, I can put much smaller, probably in maybe 48, technology enhanced learning. And that should help somebody understand that TEL is technology enhanced learning. Looks like I need to move that over just a hair to get that to line up there. And that looks pretty well. TEL project, ARC logo here, QR code here. And now you can start filling this thing in. And remember, it is not required to use these. You can just put your stuff in there, right? So you can, these are sort of placeholders. Maybe you want them in there, maybe you don't. Maybe you would like to do a little bit of format options and graphic options where you make this transparent and maybe give the border a little bit of size and maybe even a little bit of color. Maybe you want to go with the ARC colors, put a drop shadow on it, reduce the opacity of the drop shadow, increase the distance of the drop shadow and maybe the blur radius. And it looks like I didn't get much done by doing that. There we go. And this can maybe even get a little bit larger so that people know what it is. And maybe you want to make these centered. So there's all sorts of graphic things that you can do here. Oh, that looks terrible. If you do that, I'd probably, if you do that, I'd get rid of those entirely. So you have a lot of things that you get to try to do, and I don't like that either. So I would get rid of that entirely and put it in as a text box. There we go. And probably get that centered up. I can bring that all the way to the side so that I know when it centers up that it will do so correctly. Probably have to move it up just a little bit also. There we go. So these are just some of the things that you might decide to do. I wonder what happens if we get rid of that line. I'm not sure how to get rid of a line once you've got it there. I might have to make the line color itself transparent. No, that didn't look good. Border color. So that got rid of all of the outlining by doing that. So I might have to make the border color like white if I want to keep this kind of shading to do that. And so there's lots of things. I'm going to suggest that you're getting better at this and that you may want to play with the graphics. Another thing you can do is take it to the Design Hub when Jessica is there and learn a little bit of Photoshop of what you can do. Okay, so there you go. There's how to get started with your TEL poster. Just a quick start. And that's something that you want to get your draft done this week. Take a couple of hours to get it done and get it full of your information and play with the graphics a little bit and then let it sink in and fix it up next week for the final portion. All right, there we go. That's how to get started with your TEL project poster.